to Dakman Productions and welcome to Rail. Today we have a special unboxing from Mr. Muffins. This was a pre-order I made out of the last Lionel catalog and the 2019 Lionel catalog. And what we are unboxing today is a Lionel Conrail 2-car Rotary Gondola set, and you'll see why it's a little on the special side here in a moment. So we're going to go ahead and use my knife that I like now using, my army knife, and we'll go ahead and open up this box here very carefully. Actually, let's do this way. Let's go in this way first, because I want to be able to pull the lid away from the boxes so I'm not cutting into. So you'll notice I cut into the end first, and we'll go ahead and cut away here. Trying to do this carefully. Alright. Oh, peanuts. I hate peanuts. But I guess it's better enough. Ugh. I don't even like real peanuts. That's funny because I like peanut butter, but I won't eat peanuts. Alrighty, so here it is. Brand new, hot off the press. Just to mention that Lionel does have 2 different 4-car sets of the Conrail Rotary Gondola. And what it is, you have, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what a Rotary Gondola is, or a coal porter is another name for them. But they have a knuckle coupler on the end of the car that actually rotates. And that's because the gondola and your, rotary gondolas don't have chutes on the bottom of them, so they go into an unloader. And as the car goes into the unloader, the car actually gets turned around upside down and then it flips back over again. Well, the coupler has to be able to rotate while it's doing that. So that's why you see a lot of your rotary type of gondolas, or anything that has a rotating coupler on it, will usually have paint on one end of it. And let's say it's painted in like a gray paint scheme, and then the railroad will have like the first 2 panels on one end of the car painted yellow or green or blue. Well, the painted end is to indicate where the rotating coupler is, so when they make the train up, they know which end of the train has the rotating coupler. Because you don't want to put 2 rotating couplers together. That wouldn't be good once it gets into the unloader, because then then you would have two cars that would have the stiff couplers together, because they can only tip one car over at a time. So when you have a train car, and I'll show you physically, but when you have a train car, you need it needs to be rotating. Then you have one that's stiff, and then the rotating one goes into the stiff one, and then so forth and so on. I'll show it. That's easier to give you a visual, but we'll move on. So let's open this up. And here we are. We'll open up the box. I'm kind of excited because I've been looking forward to this set. You'll see why. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. Alright, so we have the Conrail 2-car Rotary Gondola set. This goes with the 2 4-packs that they made. This is the add-on set. But I bought this because I got plenty of MTH cold porters and so forth and so on. But I wanted this set because of the gray Conrail Rotary Gondola car. And this gray Conrail Rotary Gondola car was very special. Not too many people know this, but we'll go over that here in a minute. So, we'll unbox the two boxes because I do want to get these out. Yeah, I'm like a kid in a candy store now. And, you know, you always look forward to something new, something out of the catalog that's different. And, oh man, this is so cool. But let's open up, so let's open this up. Might as well open one up, right? Why not? We're already here. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, yeah. And I'll show you here in a minute, but you'll notice that the coupler actually rotates. See it right here? That's so the car, because it has no chutes on the bottom of it, so the car gets hooked up and now it can turn upside down. But of course you want the rotating part coupled to the fixed part. But you'll notice that some of these that are rotating will have the first panel painted a different color. Some of them used yellow, some of them used green, depending on the road name. But that indicated which end was the had the rotating coupler. But Conrail never did that. So I don't know how they were could tell very easily which end, unless they never broke the train down. It's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so let's open up the other one, because I do want to go over both of them with you guys. Let me put this on the track so nothing bad happens. It wants to skate off there for some reason. So let's get into this. And here's the other one. So it looks like on these both ends rotate. Oh, well that would answer my question. So on these particular cars, both ends rotate, not just one end, which I didn't know that. I do know there are coal cars out there, coal porters or rotating gondolas that have the rotating coupler only on one end, and the ones that do will have the first panel painted to indicate which end had the rotating coupler. But now I understand why Conrail never painted both ends or one end of the car, because each end has a rotating coupler on it. Interesting. I like it. Now, I'm sure those of you are wondering, did Conrail really have a gray coal gondola? Yes, they did. And it was not used for MOW service. It was actually an experiment they were doing, but we'll explain that here later. Alright, so here's our two-car set. Like I said, it goes with the four-car set. They made two different four-car sets in the Conrail road name. For those of you who own the Lionel coal tipper or the rotary machine, these are perfect for that. And so we'll get these on the track and we'll take a look at them and we'll talk about them. Alright, so we have the regular brown version of the Lionel Conrail Rotary Gondola. These are meant for, as I was explaining before, These rotary gondolas were meant to go into a plant where it would actually flip the car upside down. In order for that to happen, the couplers had to rotate. Now, I know some of these cars, I forget which car it was, some of these cars only had the rotating coupler on one end of them, and normally they had a panel that was painted a different color than the rest of the car, so they knew which end of the car had the rotating coupler. But these gondolas have a rotating coupler on both sides of them, so that wasn't really necessary, I'm assuming. So at any rate, I know Lionel originally came out with these a while ago, and they were die-cast metal. I didn't buy any because they were, for me, they were too heavy, so I stayed away from them. So the bodies are plastic instead of die-cast, which I like for the weight. It has a plastic coal load. I mean, you can always put your own in if you want something more realistic. I mean, it's a basic hopper car. The steps are molded in instead of separately applied. So it's not a detailed model per se. Yeah, so it's something that's, you know, if you're looking for details like separately applied details, then this is not for you. But as far as something that you want to put on the track and run and not worry about breaking anything off, then this is something you definitely want to get. So let's take a closer look at this. Since this is not a high-end car, it does not feature rotating wheel bearing cat trucks. I wish they put them on here, but once again, if you already have something that has molded in steps, I mean, so I'm sure they did this for a cost factor. But the one thing I can say, and I'll show it on the other end, is the rotating, I'll show you here. So you can see the coupler rotates, and it does this on both ends. And that's so the car can go into the machine at the facility, because you can see there's no chutes on the bottom. So the car physically has to be rotated upside down to get the coal out. And that's why they have rotating couplers on them. It does have die-cast truck frames, die-cast metal couplers, but of course, since the couplers do rotate, they do not open or close. So that's your trade-off for having something that's realistic. And you do have springs inside of the truck. Looks like a real spring, so that's a nice little touch. But it's if you're wondering if it's a highly detailed car, it is not. But it's nice to put into a train of other hopper cars. Like this is going to go with my MTH coal porters, so that it will go into that train there. Because I have the MTH coal porter sets. I have MTH made 4 different sets in Conrail. I have them all, and I also have the regular coal hopper. But it's funny because speaking of MTH, I ran into them in 2019. And I asked the guy there why on the coal porters were the couplers were reversed. I thought it was kind of odd. And the sales rep of MTH said MTH actually made their coal porters to go with these Lionel Rotary Gondola cars. So I wanted to pass that information along, which I found pretty interesting. So here is the Lionel gray version. Now you have to buy the 2-car set to get the gray version. They don't sell this separately as a single car. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, Conrail and gray, it's got to be for MOW service or ballasting. No, you can still see there's coal in there. And this car really did exist. So let's talk about the history of the gray Conrail Rotary coal porter, which was really road number 507537. So let's talk a little bit about the history on this. Conrail number 507537 was the one and only gray G52X, which is the model of this Rotary Gondola. If you guys remember before, when I was saying that Conrail always had model numbers on their trains, and I'm going to try and focus on that for you so you can see. And there it is, G52X. So Conrail always had some sort of model number on their freight cars, so they kept track of the series of models that they had. So now you know that the Rotary Gondola was a G52X. So going back to the history, Conrail 507537 was the one and only gray G52X, or Rotary Gondola. In 1994, Conrail teamed up with Carpenter Technology, Cromwell Streets, Johnstown, America Corporation, and fastener fabricator Huck Manufacturing. Their goal was to build a stainless steel coal porter that was more durable than the current carbon steel models. CR 507537 is one of 2 prototype cars that they built, painting them gray to distinguish them from other coal porters during testing. The article goes on to say they're not sure if the other number of the other prototype car actually even saw service. So when I seen this particular coal porter or Rotary Gondola get listed or advertised by Lionel in their catalog, I knew I had to have it. I knew it was something special. But I wanted to create this video for those who are Conrail fans if they didn't know anything about this particular coal porter or Rotary Gondola. It has a unique history to it. I'm not sure if the experiment was successful or not, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty expensive to build a car entirely of stainless steel. That couldn't have been cheap. And no, it wasn't painted gray because it was an MOW service. It's painted gray, so if it was in a string of all brown coal porters and hopper cars, they could see it and keep an eye on it for the experimental purposes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said previously, the knuckle couplers do not operate. They're not operating because they do rotate. You do have to buy the 2-car set to get the special Conrail coal porter. That's not sold separately. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought this set because I can always use an extra brown coal porter to go with my 50 MTH coal hoppers. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed another Dakman Productions video. I hope you learned something new today. And hope that you subscribe and like Dakman Productions on YouTube. It's very helpful to my channel. I know sometimes I create videos that are made as for kids, which YouTube will automatically remove the ability to comment on them. There's nothing I can do about that. I keep getting complaints, but you can always go on to the Dakman Productions YouTube community tab and comment there on the videos that are in the community. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Bye.